Hello everyone, and welcome back to episode 5 of Kerbal Space Program. My name is Steven Marketeros, and today I will be narrating this adventure into space. So yes, from last time, I decided to make a little bit of a redesign of the rocket. We strayed away from the solid rocket boosters, which I guess we actually could have, modified them a little bit and make them a little bit more efficient, but I decided, let's just drop the design and go for something a little bit different, a little bit more crazy, and a little bit more well thought out. So we switched completely from solid fuel to rocket fuel. Yes, I'm not even sure if this decision was worthwhile, to be completely honest with you. I'm not 100% sure about what the actual thrust difference was, what the delta V in the end actually was, since I'm not using any mods to calculate that. But I assumed that it probably would not hurt to try it out, considering what kind of issues that we are having right now. So Corny Kerman basically gets in the spacecraft, takes off, and flies up, and goes through the now large amount of stages, hoping, just barely hoping, that the scientists this time have been able to figure out a method of flight. And thank you guys for last episode for telling me that the microphone quality was okay. I did not know myself, and since you guys said it was okay, I'm probably just not going to do anything and probably just adjust the gain so stuff doesn't go over. But yes, we collect our scientific data, and really, we are just waiting. We are so waiting to get up to Apoapsis and see if we succeeded. It's looking plausible, it's looking plausible, it's looking... almost there. We just need a few more meters per second. Man, just a few more meters per second. We are so close to an orbit. We just can't quite get there. What are we doing wrong? What are we doing wrong? Well, looking back now, I can establish one thing that I was really doing wrong at the time, and that was basically not using everything to its max capability. I mean, I really just needed to find the right balance between solid rocket boosters and liquid fuel. But the problem was that I was limited to, what is it, like 25 parts? Yeah, I'm limited to like 25, or is it 30 parts? It's 25 or 30 parts. You can't go over that, so I am basically just dying and trying to decide whether using liquid fuel or using the solid rocket boosters is going to be more efficient. Yes, Corny is back on his way down, back to Kerbin. It's not super eventful. We kind of got the whole landing thing down after those first few episodes where we killed like 3 different people, but Corny's feeling pretty confident about his landing skills now that we kind of understand how to use parachutes. I believe that original time it was more just that we were coming down too vertical, and well, that was sort of just the complication of the time. So yeah, as you see here, things get a little bit ridiculous, and instead of just going out on a limb and just adding a couple solid rocket boosters or taking off those liquid booster sides and adding on solid rocket boosters, we decided to just duct tape one to the bottom and try to get as much delta V possible out of it before we dropped it. I mean, it was hilarious trying to take it off. You fired the solid rocket booster, it didn't even take off the pad because the thrust to weight ratio was so terrible. We had to activate the actual first stage to help assist the solid rocket booster just to get off. And then once you got off a little bit, you could just cut it out and it would just fly you all the way back up. But yeah, since we were just a few delta V short the last time, it seemed like just that little solid rocket booster, that was a pretty big solid rocket booster actually, that little rocket booster would give us what we needed to actually get into a stable orbit. Okay, we are in orbit. We are nearing Apoapsis. Oh god, we don't want to fly past it. Alright, go, 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 go. Okay, we need to get into an orbit before we fall back into the atmosphere. Alright, this is the true test. Corny, can you do it? Can you do it? Do you know the Muffin Man, Corny? This is your test. This is your test. This is your test. This is your test! Okay, yeah, we haven't fully accomplished our test yet. 60, 70... Yes! With 7 units of fuel left, we have made it into orbit. I am proud of Corny Kerman. You've done it. All odds were stacked against him, but he has done it. We received 68,000 Kerbal credits, 12 science, and 30 reputation. Lovely. Okay, this unlocks a whole lot of new doors, not really, because we don't really get much from having this. Well, we're going to do a full rotation, I guess, is our first priority. And then we're going to see if we can collect any science for being out kind of a little bit farther away from Kerbin than anyone would normally be. Or if, I guess we'll just get the extra science. Oh, there we go. Yep, well, high in space over Kerbin. We'll keep that data. So we're at least getting 7.5. We're going to get a little bit from doing the orbit, and we got some from completing the contract, which is about 12. Might be something to unlock something, but we do not know. So we need to really make it to Apoapps, and then we'll fall back down, and we'll really test just how bad we are at this. Okay. In all honesty, I'm not actually that bad at re-entering vehicles into the atmosphere. As long as you take it a little bit on the shallow side, you generally won't have too many problems. I mean, as you kind of bring it down to a little bit more of a sudden stop, you can run into a little bit of re-entry heating, but that's only if you're doing some sort of like orbital reinsertion. You're coming in like a Joule or something, and you're just like flying into the atmosphere. You can get some pretty dangerously high temperatures, which I assume is what some of the new thermal stuff is that I have not even gotten around to using yet. This is basically all the Kerbal Space Program that I've done since the more recent updates. But yeah, on the topic of reentry, I mean, I could talk a little bit about LI-900, which is basically what the government, or I guess the government, but more like what Lockheed developed to put on the bottom side of the NASA shuttles. Yeah, it's a very incredible material. It's unlike basically anything they have in Kerbal Space Program. I mean, it's sort of similar to kind of the ablative heat shields, but not really, because the way that LI-900 works is that the underside of it is heated to quite an immense heat. However, like on the other side of the panel, it'll only be like a little bit warm, and you could actually like touch it with your bare hands. And it was like a really, really awesome type material because it sort of was able to like space out kind of like the heat distribution more into that outside exposed area without melting, which was like pretty awesome. It's a really cool technology. However, a very interesting part of that is that since it's so, or like it's meant to be like open and supposed to absorb a lot of heat, it's really bad when it touches water, and it pretty much like disintegrates and will bust off on contact with any sort of liquid. It's an absolutely amazing thing. You should really go check out LI-900 if you are really interested in thermal protection systems. But then again, you are watching me play Kerbal Space Program right now, so you probably just want to continue watching the video and figure out what exactly happens. Yes, but we can recover the vessel, and Corny will return. Yay! Again, man, he's taken quite a few flights. He's been in orbit. I think that actually gives him some more experience. 7.5 and 10 science. Recovery vessel returned from Kerbin. That's more than I thought. 50 science. Yes. All right, we've got some funds for returning that. Not a whole lot, but some. Yep, Corny Kerbin's gained 1 XP. He is advanced to level 1. Ah, I'm so proud of you, Corny. I'm so proud. Alright, so how can we spend this science? Well, on basically more things to use to collect science. That would be very useful. We could use aviation to fly around and collect science that way. We could go into general construction, get big decouplers and some stability enhancers. Or we could go to advanced rocketry, unlock big fuel tanks, and efficient Terrier engines. Yes, these engines are probably going to be our savior, and they only cost 45 science. Well, it's like a steal, but not really. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to get advanced rocketry because we need the better efficiency. We really need to try and use less. We can cut down almost half the parts just by using bigger parts, I guess is the entire story for that one. So if we can use bigger parts, then we can go farther distances. And also, we've completed our orbit contract. We've got quite a lot of cash back. And we can see what the next big ones are. I still think there is quite a lot of science to be collected by getting into orbits and just basically flying around as much as we can. So we just got to design a nice solution to our orbiting needs. So what I think we're going to do now is we are going to upgrade our astronaut complex and launch this brand new rocket that I designed, which I'm pretty sure can get us into space pretty well. I believe I called this yes, it's only cost 17,000. So if we load this up and we do that, we can get some nice EVA reports, which we haven't been able to do before. And with these EVA reports, I believe that we can get quite a lot more science and milk that out of it, so then we can get more science. So it's like going to be pretty much like a return or like an investment. So let's upgrade our astronaut complex to something nice like that. I haven't used the administration building yet. We probably should end up using that because we don't really need reputation, but we're for some reason holding on to it anyway. But, you know, we're not really going to deal with that too much. So Before we do anything else, let's go into the Orbiter Mark 1, get rid of this person, and add Corny, an actual pilot with some sort of training, and launch the rocket into the sky and see what we can do. Yes, it is a little bit redesigned version of what we did. It's basically a really big version of what we originally... Holy crap. Okay. That wasn't going to end well. Let's revert that to launch, and basically launch instantly. All right, launch immediately. Okay. Yeah, we were really trying to work around this bug with the whole situation. We can't do stuff like that. If we don't do this right, there's no way we're going to actually be able to afford running a space program. Otherwise, we're going to go pretty bankrupt. I'm trying to save us from bankruptcy right now, but we aren't doing well. Sooner or later, we're going to have a problem that we can't get past. But I hope with the discovery of information on the moon, we can get quite a lot of science and we get quite a lot of funding that way. And then maybe launching a larger mission to Duna or Eve or something like that, in which the pilot may or may not come back. But yes, they will still transmit a very useful quantity of data for us to evaluate. Alright, now let's stitch these up without blowing up the engine. There we go, we've successfully done that. Alright, now we really need to gravity turn. Alright, let's go back onto an angle where gravity turning is accepted. Woo! It is this angle. Yes, we do have a little bit of fuel to burn, not going to lie to you. That is because everything is way larger. We could include way more fuel with way less parts and put on a more efficient engine at the top. Albeit we have added some of that weight back now that we have the science module up here and some of the, what do you call them, mystery goo containment chambers. Yeah, this is just being very ridiculously difficult to control since we don't have much in the way of gimbal control right now, because this bottom engine, I was more going for thrust than gimbal control, albeit I think the gimbal might be a useful feature we need to add back into later models. Alright. There we go. She's going up. And she's finally starting to spin back down. Yeah, we can basically burn all the fuel we need in this stage because it has no huge effect on what we do later. Alright, let's just start this up and not, like, burn ridiculously fast like that. See, there's gimbal control in this stage. So, yeah, we just went a little bit more vertical than we did other times, but that is okay. So we just basically need to time warp up there and then get our engine really kicking when we get up. Yeah, we probably should put some thrust limiters on those, what do you call them? Those solid rocket boosters in order to get them to stay in line. Alright, so this is basically all horizontal acceleration from here. Okay. There we go. Alright. About 2 Gs of acceleration force. That's pretty intense. It's like minus 16 meters per second. That's pretty heavy on your chest, if you could imagine that, like a 16-pound weight on your chest. Wouldn't be something I'd exactly want to feel, but whatever. Alright. I mean, I think I felt 16 pounds. Yeah, I felt more than 16 pounds on my chest before. But still not a pleasant feeling, nonetheless. Not encouraging anyone to do that. 2 Gs is pretty great. Now we're getting up 2.5 Gs. That's actually quite a lot of weight. 20, actually, that's kilograms, not pounds. Gosh, man, what system am I in today? I need to get back to metric. Yes, the good old metric system. Alright, yeah, we are falling pretty fast. And not going a whole lot sideways. But, well, we'll be able to fix that. We're in a pretty decent orbit. Not orbit. We're in a pretty decent suborbiter right now. Yep, so we ran out of fuel. But that's okay, because we still got our additional stage using that highly fuel-efficient engine to get us into a full orbit. So this should be pretty much cakewalk from here. None of those huge fuel concerns. We can kind of screw up and make up for it as we go along. And there will be no humongous consequences. Alright, so yeah, we're in orbit. Lovely. Okay, so now that we're in orbit, I guess it's safe to say we should probably take a mystery goo containment observation, since we have never done that before. That's going to be a nice amount of science to get us some nice other stuff when we need to. But let's go to Periapsis, and we can really blow out our orbit right now and try to get so we can get into kind of like a higher orbit around Kerbal. And we can collect more scientific data there, and it will be more useful to our cause, especially with the mystery goo, because we haven't done a whole lot of mystery goo stuff yet. So let's just get her out around. We have plenty of fuel. Man, we could almost go to the moon. Too bad we don't have a actual contract out to the moon. I guess we could burn out to the moon and see what happens. We have enough fuel? Yeah, we'll have enough fuel. Plenty. Reentry will be a little bit scary, coming back at this ridiculous speed. However, we do need to break that speed record, so Actually, no, he must have defeated that because there's, like, no contracts whatsoever right now. Lovely. Okay. What else? Wait, we're about to beat that. 2,500 meters per second right there. Okay, but yeah, nothing really. Okay, okay, alright, yep, here we are getting out. Still got plenty of fuel, still got half the fuel left in this tank, right? Yeah, still got half the fuel left. And, man, if we were able to get into a Mooner suborbit flyby, that would be intense, but I don't think we're going to be able to do that from here. Especially because I think it's moving in the opposite direction. But yeah, we tried, so whatevs. Okay, it was the thought that counted, eh? I guess we can just extend this out further and see if changing the period at which we come back will help us out. But no, I don't think we're going to be able to do this without exiting actual Kerbal orbit. Yeah. All right. That's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like. I don't think we can go much further than that. Whew. We're really extending the amount of time out here. How we're not hitting the moon once, man. Not even once. Man, are we still in Kerbal orbit at this point? Can we... We're not even in Kerbal... Oh, there we go. Now we've just gone into a total escape. Don't want to do that at this point. That would be bad. Because we have little means of actually getting back to Kerbal. If something goes wrong, we have no ability to predict in the future what's going on. So let's just hope that this stays within Kerbal. All right. Lovely. All right. This could also go terribly wrong. Things are very well known to go wrong when I'm in control. All right, so let's take the science right now. We're pretty high up. There we go. It's going to be 37 science. Okay, let's take a crew report. Didn't get really much from that, but okay, I'll take a mystery goo observation. 15 science. That's going to be like at least another 50 science. When we come back, we get something else to unlock. All right, and if we can really get this moon thing right. Oh, God. Yep, we have made the ultimate mistake. Darn it. We are now on our own orbit. Ooh, not good. Okay. Wow, now we really have to salvage this mission from here. But I have a feeling that... Oh, God, we also have a limited electricity supply as well. Oh God, this is not going to end well. Well, we'll see what we can do about that. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please do not forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Otherwise, we will see you guys next time.